I do this for every Trinidadian. Wield the mic in hand like weapons of an Asgardian. If you want to cross my line, take your time, I will direct you. Seek some advice from Dr. Kevorkian. I drop this on the station, the rotation is as much as when the circus play organs and the accordions. You ain't got no venom, use a pseudoscorpion. You diss me and I embarrass you in front of your audience. Tell them that I'm the West Indian, same level as the French Merovingian. I am the iOS, you are just the Symbian. I will meet you anywhere like an amphibian. You see me black as night, represent brain and the black and white. Cross me and snatch where your second life, make you ride like a second-hand bike. I'm from a tough West Indian jungle lord, born cool but I built to rumble. Please don't ever mistake my humble for weakness, cause you surely will get crumble. I swear, let me see your hand up in the air. Everybody put them up. Let me see your hands up high. I'm from the WI. Okay then, check. Well, me a business who don't like me. My duty here is to keep the crowd.
Right, friends, welcome to the Hazley Crawford Stadium. It is football action. Trinidad and Tobago versus Cuba Caribbean Under-20 Championship action here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. My name is James Saunders and I'm joined by Lasana Liebert, who's going to be adding context to all of the action that's happening here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. Both teams are lined up in this very interesting contest in terms of the context of the group as the national anthem of Cuba is taking place. The national anthem of two proud soccer nations here in the Caribbean Football Union. Trinidad and Tobago coming up against Cuba. Trinidad and Tobago already having qualified out of this group with a maximum, in fact, 6 points from 2 games so far. Cuba, they come in search of their second 3 points. They've already picked up 3 points against Curacao earlier in the competition. And it is going to be an exciting battle here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. I'm joined by Wired 8-6 seed correspondent Lasana Liebert. Lasana, what do you make of this match?
Well, still a lot to play for Cuba in this game. That should make it interesting match. We see that both teams making quite a few changes. You could probably expect a few changes from the Trinidad and Tobago team, considering that they're true and you're talking about so many games in a short space of time. It's interesting to see that Cuba, I believe, have counted 4 changes to the first team, which is a little bit surprising coming into this game. I look to see there's a change in shape and so on from them. I mean, generally Cuba has gone with a 4-1-4-1 system, which is a midfield sweeper. That's number 14, Nogaman Rodriguez, and with a 4 in front of him and just the one striker. And interesting to see what they come out with tonight.
Well, Trinidad and Tobago wearing the white kit. It's the first time, in fact, that they're wearing all white in this competition. Cuba wearing the red kit. Lots of yellow boots on show. You're going to see that in just a few. But Nicholas Dillon getting his first start, a forward for Trinidad and Tobago, getting his first start in this match, as well as Josiah Trimington coming in place of Mattheon Watson. What do you make of those changes?
Well, Trimmingham was one of the guys who came out of the under 17 team. You know, he's with the core bunch of players, so he shouldn't be a stranger to the fellas at the back, you know, Shannon Gomez and so on. In fact, Trinidad would probably have started before. Perez would have been a new introduction to a new face within the team, as opposed to joining the under 17 boys. The other change being Nicholas Dillon. That's an interesting one. He's a central teenager. He hadn't played any first team football really for Central FC last year, although I know the then coach Terry Fenwick thought quite highly of him. It'll be interesting to see what he does with his chance today, which would be his very first international game.
Well, also a very new midfield combination in that Nabil Hackshaw, he's also missing from the starting lineup. And it seems as if Kevon Goddard, he's still missing. He was out of the second game with a suspected case of dengue. So a brand new midfield combination coming into place there.
Not for the first time, and it didn't do too badly, we have to say. 2 days ago, of course, when they won 4-0 against Curacao. Kian Joseph is a new face. He came on in the last game against Curacao. You know, he did okay. He looked okay. And we have the same attacking tree as we did against Curacao, which would be Akem Andrews, Jabari Mitchell, and Levi Garcia. So not a whole lot of change there, but Hackshaw and Goddard, both guys with some Pro League experience. And I think they were pretty calm customers in the centre midfield, and the challenge will be on Kian Joseph and Akeem Humphrey now to show the same level.
Well, it's kick-off here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. Trinidad and Tobago kicking from north to south in the all-white outfit against the red of Cuba as they stroke it around in midfield. It goes all the way back now to the central defenders. Of course, the captain Gomez now, he picks it up, looks inside. Goes way back to Perez. Maurice Ford gets into the action now. Trying to go long. Unsuccessful in that attempt. Goes back to goalkeeper Johan Welsh. Houston Dynamo keeper. Here now is Gomez for Trinidad and Tobago, looking to send it up long to give number 18, Jabari Mitchell, his first touch. Section sending the crowd into live early at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. Always a facet of football or any sporting activity for that matter in Trinidad and Tobago. Songs of the rhythm section of the crowd starts to build up here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. Very interesting, this group 1 of this competition. All the teams aside from Trinidad and Tobago on 3 points. Cuba, one of them. Very cool evening here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium as well.
Yeah, pretty small crowd tonight. I think it's the smallest crowd so far in the tournament. Because maybe it's meant to be the first game was the first game on Friday. It was. The first round game was on Friday, so today's a little bit different. You know? And we're not seeing now people coming out. There's a little bit of rain as well.
Here's Welsh now playing into Jesus Perez. Perez likes to keep the ball on his feet. Likes to get a touch on the ball, Perez. Cunningham looking to find Garcia, can do so. Does fall though to Mitchell. He tries to control it. Anybody's ball now. Bubbles of Cuban battling for this one. Mitchell putting in a hard shift there. Finally gets it back to his skipper Gomez, who's under a bit of pressure, but he allows it to go out. Trinidad and Tobago's touch.
Very assured customer, Jabari Mitchell. You know, doesn't seem to be fazed by much at all. You know? Very composed there.
There's a chance for Cuba now that is quickly evaporated by the white shirts of Trinidad and Tobago. Mitchell didn't start off as a starter in the opening game of the competition, but he has come in and cemented his spot after that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. very composed guy. You know, when the chance presents itself, you know, he takes his time, he gets over the ball, he does the right thing. He isn't very flashy, but he has some personality to his play. Looks like a promising player.
Here's Humphrey now battling for this one. He has won it. Finds his captain Gomez. Gomez tries to get it forward to Mitchell. Headed away by the Cubans. Picked up now by Humphrey. Filling the big shoes left by Neville Hackshaw. The player, if it's a tactical decision to leave out of the starting team.
Yeah, Neville Hackshaw did come off the game on a stretcher on Sunday. The word so far from the TTFF press office is that apart from Goddard, all of the changes were tactical, but we may have to confirm that with Derek King
well,
after the
there's
game.
Cuba now with a chance now to get it off, and the referee interrupts his charge to goal. So Trinidad and Tobago surviving. They do look a bit nervous at the back in the early exchanges of the match. It's quite early, just 4 minutes gone here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. Trimmingham tries to play one forward. It's broken up. Here's Jesus Perez. It's also interesting to see Keon Joseph getting a bit of the action as well in central midfield. Did come on as a substitute in the second match against Curacao. Of course, Trinidad and Tobago winning that match by 4-0. Here's another opportunity now for Trinidad and Tobago. It's broken up as Nicholas Dillon couldn't get past his man there. Dillon, of course, replacing Kadeem Corbin, who Coach King in one of the pre-match conferences highlighted that, in fact, you can see him on the bench there. Coach King highlighted that he was one of the future prospects, perhaps. They were looking at giving him a shot at the senior team.
Yeah, very mobile attacker, you know, tricky. Turns on the ball well, you know, uses space. In fact, he's as different as we have seen. You know, we've had those you know, traditional powerhouse centre forwards for a while now, be it with Kenwin Jones and Jamal Gay, and in a sense Devon Justin and so on. And Kadeem Corbin is very different to that. He's a nippy guy, changes direction well. Doing off to a good start so far in his international career.
Here comes Cuba now as the player goes down in a heap to Maurice Ford. Does find his player now. Here's Mitchell. He goes down under the challenge. And the referee is going to reward him with a free kick. Referee Ian Clark of St. Lucia presiding in this contest. He's assisted by Ricardo Morgan of Jamaica and Jeremy Holland of the Bahamas. Here's Trinidad and Tobago now. Jesus Perez.
Yeah. Look at how deep Cuba is playing. Look at the distance with the Cuba defense. Matter of fact, look at the Cuban sweeper. He's almost like a second goalkeeper. You see, that's how deep they're playing. Cuba definitely coming out today, trying at least for the first 15 minutes or so. They're looking to hold on to the point. You know, 1 point would be enough, but Trinidad would try to shuttle the ball forward into those wide areas and try to take them on. And Cuba doesn't seem to be interested in a full press or in closing down space at all.
Well, the Cubans pick it up at the back now. It's safely into the hands of a goalkeeper, Pozo, as Coach Derek King shouts some instructions to his team. What do you think King might be saying to his team at the moment? You've got 6 points already. You're coming up against Cuba in your final game, already assured of going through, more or less. What do you think he might be saying to his charges now?
Well, with Cuba sitting so, defending so deep, I think we've seen in the first game or two that sometimes Jesus Perez especially, likes to go long early. And I think that wouldn't be the tactic today. Oh, a ball over the top.
Well, here's Cuba now with a chance, and straight to Johan Welsh. Looks quite comfortable under the pressure. Johan Welsh, the Houston Dynamo shot stopper. Has been firm competition between him and Jevon Sample for the #1 goalkeeping spot for Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, of course, that'll be Dynamo youth team. And I don't really, can't say I know his record there either. But Welsh, of course, was the #1 goalkeeper with the under-17 team. But as I was saying, though, you could see that Cuba very aware of the speed of the Trinidad wingers. That could be the only reason why they're defending this deep. And, we need to get the ball forward, but we still have some patience, and I think the ball over the top wouldn't work with Cuba defending this deep in the game.
Well, Levi Garcia and Ikem Andrews, the two wingers for Trinidad and Tobago. Both of them involved in the goals in their last match against Curacao. In fact, Andrews getting a double. Here's a chance now for Trinidad and Tobago. And cuts inside now, looking for space. And he gets a shot, and it's saved by the goalkeeper. He has another bite. Good it going. The underside of the crossbar. No signal from the linesman.
And that was Dylan there looking for his first international goal.
Well, Nicholas Dillon getting his first bite at the pie, the number 19 for Trinidad and Tobago. And what a chance. Got his chance and almost took it.
Yeah, again, the play started on the flank with Trinidad. Seemed to be terrorizing our opponents so far from wide areas. And Dillon looked lively there for sure.
Well, here's the chance again. Dillon going down at the first one, and a bit unlucky, some would say. Just coming off the underside of the crossbar. This would have been an opportunity perhaps for goal line technology to come into play there.
Yeah, but I don't think it was over.
Well, here's Cuba now looking to create an attack of their own. Very direct. And Welsh has to come off his line to clear the danger. It's not over yet, and a shot comes in, and yes, it dropped in. In fact, it has. Cuba have gone 1-0 in the lead against Trinidad and Tobago. Surprise, surprise. One shot, one goal, and it's the number 11, Frank Manuel Lopez, that has put the Cubans ahead after 10 minutes.
Yes, I'm looking to see. I believe it came off of, that would be Keon Joseph. I mean, no fault of Keon's. He was pressing. Let's see. I need to see that one more time. I think it came off Keon Joseph. Again, we saw Welsh well off his line, you know, just as the other goal he conceded against Curacao.
In fact, Suriname, he conceded the opening goal against Suriname.
Suriname, sorry, yes, that's right.
Well, what a goal that turned out to be. And after 10 minutes, it is Cuba that lead by a goal to nil. Is it a surprise result so far?
Definitely. And Cuba has not been playing on the front foot at all. You know, that was really something that came from nowhere. Trinidad has seen most of the ball, and Cuba has been content to let them have the ball. So it's a very interesting development and a surprise development.
Well, here's Trinidad and Tobago now. Joseph playing it all the way back to Maurice Ford. Looks to create something. How will these young Soca Warriors respond to that? The home crowd seems to have been shocked into silence at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. But here they come now. Trinidad and Tobago. It is with Captain Gomez. As Levi Garcia ahead of him chooses to go a bit more direct to Mitchell, who has won a throw in for Trinidad and Tobago. The number 18, Jabari Mitchell for Trinidad and Tobago. Here they come now. Mitchell trying to wrestle his way. Here's the goal scorer picking it up now for Cuba as they charge forward. Number 10 for Cuba looks very composed. Peraza. They try to build up the left-hand side as the goal scorer goes down in a heap. The referee hasn't stopped play, and Mitchell with a clever bit of skill couldn't find Dillon in the end. It's bouncing around now. Cuba going for this one. Trinidad and Tobago looking a bit nervous now. Gomez has lost it. It's with Cuba, who finally cleared the danger as the referee has time to attend to Frank Manuel Lopez, who seems to be in a bit of pain. In fact, he went down after the initial challenge and has stayed down since.
Yeah. I mean, Lopez, for the earlier two matches, he played as a centre forward, and today he's playing a little bit deeper, so there's a tactical change for the Cubans, and it's worked a treat so far.
So Lopez receiving some attention as a somewhat sizable Cuban contingent support their team. I also saw the coach of Keyshawn Walcott. Well, it's sizable by comparison, as I see Lasana live with looking at me like, where's the size coming from? Mustafa Lopez, who is the coach, or Mustafa rather, who is the coach of Trinidad and Tobago gold medalist Keyshawn Walcott. He's also of Cuban descent.
Okay.
He was seen earlier on in the stands.
Split loyalties tonight.
Even though he did admit that Trinidad and Tobago might be the stronger party. But Lopez is finally back to his feet as he gets a final bit of stretching taking place. Has a drink of H2O, and he's good to go.
Yeah. This score would definitely suit the Cubans because I think they've come out with defense in their mind today, and now they have something to hold on to, which should encourage them even further.
But I just wonder if the dynamics of the game has changed so far with Trinidad and Tobago going down so early in the contest.
Not necessarily. I don't think it's a bad time to concede a goal for Trinidad, because I think that once we get the one goal, we should expect to have some momentum, behind us at that point in time. And if it gives the Cubans an even more defensive mindset, I don't think that's such a bad thing for us.
Well, here comes Trinidad and Tobago now, looking to go forward with this one. It's sent all the way back to the defense now. Gomez picks it up out wide for Trinidad and Tobago. He finds Garcia. Garcia bundled over. Still a battle, tussle forward. The number 17 for Trinidad and Tobago, Humphrey, keeps it and he's charging to the center. He goes down in a pile. Is that going to be a yellow card? Could we see our first yellow card of the match? The goal scorer Lopez took a knock himself earlier and decided to return the favor for Cuba. But what a run was that from Humphrey. He burst just about in his half and was charging forward until he was finally impeded with what turned out to be an illegal challenge.
Yeah, I think Lopez was very lucky not to be booked there. Very, very lucky.
So it's a free kick for Trinidad and Tobago midway in their half. Standing over this one is Mitchell.
Yeah, I think it's important for Trinidad to try to move the ball around some more. And I think they're trying to attack too quickly. And I think it's played into the hands of the Cubans, who have so many people behind the ball already. I'm sure Derek would probably want to see his fullbacks get forward more and just to zip the ball around a little bit more and try to stretch the Cubans, which isn't happening yet.
Well, the Cubans certainly limiting the Trinidad and Tobago team. They have dropped somewhat very conservatively into their own half, not allowing the attacking players of Trinidad and Tobago to get behind them. As Lopez picks it up, he seems to be involved in almost everything. Cuban, here he is now, can't find the red shirt, but it's still an opportunity now, as this one was surprisingly left in no man's land and well shot to clear his line very quickly. Here comes the Cubans again. Lopez again getting into another tussle. He seems to like the rough and tumble action. Gomez looking for Levi Garcia now. Made a switch to the right hand side. Started off on the left hand side for Trinidad and Tobago against Curacao. Seem to have switched his position somewhat as they've won themselves a corner.
And there was some good speed from Levi Garcia there, and you could tell that the Cubans are very worried about the speed of the Trinidad players. And we saw a little bit of that there.
Well, Garcia to take the first corner for Trinidad and Tobago. Coach King, he doesn't look a happy camper. Can they create something from this opportunity now? It's Garcia to find a white shirt. Comes off a red, in fact. He has a chance now for Dillon, flinging his body in there. Couldn't get it, but the danger isn't over yet. Here comes Dillon fighting for this one. He has won it. The big guy Dillon certainly is an imposing presence. Levi Garcia now to look inside. He goes past one, tries to get past another, couldn't do so. And Cuba managed to clear the danger as they breathe a sigh of relief for just a moment. And Jesus Perez living dangerously in the center of the park. Finally boots it out of play. Looking for Garcia there, but unsuccessful in the end.
Now it's worth noting that Trinidad and Tobago has already qualified for CONCACAF at this stage. Were we to lose by 2 goals though, it would mean that Cuba would play in the final and not Trinidad and Tobago on goal difference. So I mean, even right now the score isn't too bad. Both teams advance with this scoreline, but Trinidad and Tobago can't afford to give up another goal if we want to play in the final on Friday.
Now, I have heard some complaints from some sections of the supporters and some of our football pundits that they were a bit unhappy with the wholesale changes being made for this match. Is that going to be a concern as Trinidad and Tobago come with a chance now, cleared away by the Cubans? In fact, it's finally cleared as the referee seems to be unhappy with something. In fact, a player has stayed down on the pitch.
Yeah, in terms of the changes, today there were how many? 3 changes in the Trinidad team today. We had Keon Joseph coming in for Neville Hackshaw. Nicholas Dillon coming in for
Corbin.
Yeah, and Trimmingham coming in for Watson. The team is through to the next stage, and we know preparation being as it was, and without getting any international games and so on. And I guess perhaps Coach King thought it was the best chance to take a look at guys like Nicholas Dillon, and give them a chance to show themselves and give them that bit of experience, So it.
Now, overall, we have seen 7 changes being made to this Trinidad and Tobago team from day one. So 7 changes since the opening day of the competition. Does it show a sign that perhaps Coach King is a bit unsettled maybe with the players that he's got so far? He's still searching.
Or it might show the competitive nature of the squad because to be honest, he changed 4 of his 5 midfielders for the last game, and it certainly didn't impact on the team's performance negatively.
Well, here's Cuba now, trying to get behind Trinidad and Tobago. They've done so thus far in the competition, getting the opening goal through Lopez, but unsuccessful on this attempt as Trinidad and Tobago lives to fight another day, so to speak. 19 minutes gone here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. This is the Caribbean Under-20 Championship final round taking place. Trinidad and Tobago versus Cuba. Trinidad and Tobago, of course, in the all-white, as the rhythm section gets louder and louder as they try to motivate the fans and by extension the players on the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, there's a suggestion that Nicholas Dillon's height could have played a role too in him starting today.
But he's certainly a big camper.
He's a tall boy.
Imposing presence.
He does. I mean,
here they come now. Dillon getting the touch of the ball.
How much of an advantage it is, I'm not sure. I mean, if we were, let's say, we expected to be defending set pieces a lot, then it could come in. It could be a very useful asset to have. I mean, otherwise, on the attack, I think Corbin's speed, and his skill would definitely have been a handful. But Nicholas Dillon is off to a good start so far.
Well, Jesus Perez with a somewhat wayward ball. In fact, it is a very wayward ball as it goes out in the touch. Nowhere near the intended target.
Yeah, it's very important for Keon Joseph and Akeem Humphreys to get on the ball, to make themselves available, and also to keep the ball moving quickly. The first instinct of the Trinidad midfielder seems to be to hold on to the ball, and that in that position, just on top of the defense, you have to be looking for the early passes.
Well, there's Dillon now. Big man managing to hold on to possession. Akeem Andrews now trying to get past the wing back. Unsuccessful there. Ball trying to get back to Andrews there. With a lot of work being done there.
Yeah, Keon Joseph there played on a bit short.
Joseph, he seemed to have held on to it a bit longer than necessary, as was previously mentioned. Trinidad and Tobago managing to hold on to possession. Cuba retreating with everybody behind the ball at the moment. So they're committing numbers at the back, Cuba. As Trinidad and Tobago have an opportunity from the set piece. Barry Mitchell gets a cheer from the home supporters. Very enthusiastic home supporters. Mitchell now, Trinidad and Tobago. Can he find a wide shot and a good punch by the Cuban shot stopper, Pozo?
Yeah, that's a very good set piece there from Jabari Mitchell. Very good set piece.
Well, Mitchell seems to be the favored choice for set pieces for Trinidad and Tobago. Has done a good job so far.
Remember again, Cuba does need a point today. A loss should see Suriname go through having scored more goals. They also won 3 points. A draw would be enough for Cuba to get to CONCACAF. Of course, if they win by 2 goals, Cuba would play in the Under-20 Caribbean Cup final on Friday night at the expense of Trinidad and Tobago. So Trinidad and Tobago cannot afford to concede another goal.
So Trinidad and Tobago now going in search of an equalizer. 22 minutes gone.
Look at Perez looking for options.
Trinidad and Tobago have created the better chances so far. Nicholas Dillon, in fact, bringing a save out of the goalkeeper Pozo, and then the underside of the woodwork denying Trinidad and Tobago. But it is the Cubans that lead by a goal to nil. That goal coming in the 10th minute that is, Frank Manuel Lopez.
Yes, it was actually Jesus Perez, his shot deflected